Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Before we get into today's news, just a quick reminder that we launched a resource page attached to RealCatholicTV.com containing additional news stories and other resources from our stories right here, as well as commentary on current events in Catholic culture happening all around the world. To check it out, go to realcatholictv.blogspot.com by clicking on the link right over here. And now for today's news. Russia cracks down on abortion. Conservative lawmakers have partnered with the Orthodox Church to battle the dangerous decline of births in Russia. The attempt to remedy one of the lowest birth rates in the world will include laws banning free abortions at government clinics and prevent the use of the so-called morning after pill unless prescribed by a doctor. The proposal also forbids abortions unless women have the permission of their spouse or teenage girls have the permission from their parents, and also requires a 1-week waiting period for consideration before killing their child. 54% of Russian women abort their babies, creating a population-reducing fertility rate of only 1.4 children per woman. A minimum replacement rate of the 2.1 children per woman is necessary to maintain the current population. France fights off stem cell research. France is refusing to loosen its laws permitting the use of human embryos for stem cell research. Conservatives in the National Assembly voted against a proposal by liberals that would relax restrictions on killing fetuses for research purposes. Reuters.com reports the Cardinal of Paris urged lawmakers not to pass the law, saying that it would amount to a regression in civilization and open the door to state-sponsored eugenics. The bill will be reviewed again in June. Currently, French law is a mixed bag, allowing only the use of imported embryos for research purposes and stem cell extraction. Diocese attacks homeschoolers. The Bishop of Austin, Texas, is refusing to say Mass for local homeschoolers. And what's more, now homeschooling is being criticized in a national Catholic newspaper. Bishop Joe Vasquez of Austin says he refused to say Mass because his presence would, quote, convey a contradictory message equating the importance of Catholic school education with Catholic homeschooling, end quote. And LifeSite News is also reporting the executive director of the Catholic Education Foundation has written an article in the Our Sunday Visitor newspaper saying the catechesis of children is the primary domain of the pastor rather than the parents. Priests and theologians are defending homeschooling from this attack on the Catholic family. To read what they have to say in the full article, click on the link right over here. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Pro-abortion priest forced from office. Father Luis Arriaga has left his position as head of a Mexican human rights organization after being exposed for his pro-death affiliations. Father Arriaga was scheduled to speak at a Catholic conference in Ottawa early this year until Archbishop Prendergast unexpectedly canceled the talk after meeting with the priest in person. Since the talk has been canceled, Prendergast has been trying to clarify the status of Arriaga's organization, the Miguel Austin Pro Juarez Center for Human Rights, with the Mexican church officials who discovered the institution is indeed in favor of abortion. Jesuit provincial leaders in Canada and Mexico actually wrote a statement defending Father Arriaga's pro-abortion stances and actions, as well as the institution he had been a part of for over 20 years. Alabama Monastery Reconciled. A schismatic monastery in Alabama has been reconciled with the church after years of prayer and dialogue. The community were self-proclaimed sedevacantists, meaning that they did not believe in that the Pope is the real Pope. However, Bishop Robert Baker of the Diocese says his talks with the Monastery of Christ the King were very delicate and took place with a great amount of good faith on both sides. The monastery is a bastion of the traditional Latin Mass, which is offered daily by priests of the Canons Regular of St. John Cantius. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on realcatholictv.com. And be sure to check out the Vortex today, where Michael will discuss the power of homosexual TV. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless.